What's going on, guys? What's going on? How we doing today? What's going on, Devin? What's up, old Gov? See if I can get something going here today, man. Holy shit. What's up, Daryl? Nice to see you, buddy. What's up, Kicks Good? Hopefully my video is not horrible today. I connected it directly to my router, so it should be better. Here we go again. Oh, why am I getting a weak signal? How am I coming off to you guys? How's my video? Video output over here saying is low. I don't know what's going on. I connected it directly with the Ethernet line today. I set up my Wi-Fi on my computer. I went directly to the box. It should definitely be pretty strong. What's up, Hulky? What's up, Glenn? What's up, Pettigrew? Guys, hear me? I know sound has been no problem. I know yesterday we had some video difficulties. Are we still having video difficulties today? Okay. All right. Good. So as long as we're not having any problems, we'll get right into it, man. How you guys do last night? I know, Devin, you reached out to me. Tell me you came pretty close to taking it all with a different lineup that you didn't play. I guess that happens. It happens a lot. We always second guess ourselves, and we do something. We decide we have 3 lineups, and we go, you know what? I'm gonna shoot this one out, and sometimes the one that you had a pretty good feeling about and you didn't play ends up being the one that could have gotten you to the top. But you know, this is DFS. This is what we play for. So it's always a new day, man. A new slate, a new day. Let's see what we can do today. All right, LA and New York, Connecticut at Dallas. I'm looking at the games. I did take a little bit more deeper look. I did mention in the video earlier that coming into this game, guard play defensively. The team that has played the best in this 4-game slate out of the 4 teams has been Los Angeles. Okay, so Los Angeles has minimized their opponents to 23.5 points per game over the course of the last 4 games, and they've been playing really solid basketball, backcourt, front court, as well as offensively and defensively. So LA coming into today is probably the best playing team out of these 4 here. So a tough game for New York. They are at home. They just got beat by Seattle. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about LA and New York, but obviously I'm going to target a few players on LA. You can always, like I've said before, always should try to flip the script a little bit. And when you have teams like New York, you're gonna have to try to play a couple of those players as well, and hopefully you hit the right ones. Unfortunately, with New York, we just don't know who may go off. I do like in the LA New York game, after just doing a little bit more review, as far as LA New York, there's no doubt LA should win the game. The only drawback about this game, guys, is that obviously it more than likely could be a blowout. They did play once before, and it was a massive blowout. It may come to that again today, but New York has nothing to play for, so you never know with these teams that are right there at the bottom. They'll have nothing to play for. What I would like to see them do is try to play some players that they normally don't play. So I'm hoping that they give Kia Nurse a little bit more time today. She could be a pretty sneaky play, just simply because she's, for one, 4,200. For most importantly, she's their number 1 pick, and if they feel that she's part of the future, they should allow her to play them these last few games at least more than 20 minutes. So we'll see what's going on. Just to say hi, a couple more hellos. Yeah, what's up, James? James Perkins is in here. T Dot, what's going on, buddy? T Dot, I won. Yeah, I saw you on the. I saw T Dot on those in the GPPs. I did notice you in the GPPs. You were once a little high and then came down a little bit, but you were doing pretty good last night, buddy. Orlando, what's going on? Orlando frozen again? Everybody see me here? Short memory. What's up, Angel Guard? Orlando Harris says he still sees me frozen. Anybody else having a freezing? Wow, this is terrible. I don't understand what's going on. I actually moved this over to my computer. I actually directly put the Ethernet line directly to it just to get more strength today. I am really surprised. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to check this out with my carrier. I did check my computer. I shut down everything that normally starts up with the computer, so it's been running great for me today. I mean, I noticed it was running a lot faster. I even cleaned it out too, so I am very, very surprised. But we're going to try to move on. If you can hear me, at least we'll be able to discuss. I'll be able to answer questions and be able to discuss the slate. So going back to LA and New York, you know, obviously Gray is in play. She is probably the top guard of the night if there's no Diggins Smith. I didn't get any word from Diggins Smith, not even on Dallas's Twitter. I did see anything at all day long about her playing. So even if she's playing, I think she's still in a tough matchup, you know, for as far as Diggins Smith is concerned with Connecticut. So, but over here in LA, New York, definitely Chelsea Gray is someone that you should definitely consider. She is high in price, but I see where you can get maybe one good starting guard here in this slate for me, at least in my opinion, and you can actually still get two decent forwards, and then of course, you know, get a couple players in a little in the mid tier range. As far as New York, like I was saying a few minutes ago, it's just so hard to predict or to determine who's going to go off today. Brittany Boyd is their top guard here as far as price is concerned. I do think that Sugar Rogers and maybe possibly Kia Nurse as lower price guards, and Sugar Rogers normally plays the 3. I would think they are more in play, at least in my eyes, or in my opinion. But LA is really, really tough on guards, and they actually have been pretty good as far as defending the guards in 3-point shooting and field goal point shooting. Let me see here. As you can see here on my list, LA is holding down their opponents to just slightly under 30% shooting from 3 and 44.5%. They're pretty balanced off with New York. New York is at 43.9, so they're pretty much even in field goal percentage as far as defending the opponent. But at the 3-point shooting, New York is not great at 3-point shooting, but they definitely are tough in defending the threes. So New York is going to have to find their way into getting inside. And obviously, if they're going to do that, that's obviously Tina Charles is in play, of course, and possibly Amanda Zoe B. At least in my eyes, I think those are the best ones. Going back to the guards, like I said, coming here, I don't know, man. Again, Brittany Boyd, Bria Hartley, they're possibly in play. I mean, you know, I am more targeting Connecticut and Dallas, to be totally honest with you. I mean, this game obviously is the one that's more than likely could be a blowout. But if you're going to target anybody here and target New York, I would think you definitely want to try to take a stab at Sugar Rogers or a Kia Nurse at 4,200. And also consider that if this gets out of control, then you may see a little bit more time for Essence Carson, who hasn't had a lot of minutes as of late on the floor, and that's due to the fact that Chelsea Gray has been doing so well, and she's been so good. And then, of course, because Elena Beard came back. But Elena Beard is not putting up a lot of numbers. She's played already, 29, 30 minutes respectively in 2 games, and I just don't know. I just don't see where I think she's going to be effective here. She may be in this game, but she hasn't shown it. So for me at the moment, I am not on Elena Beard, but I really do like Kia Nurse at 4,200 for New York. So someone to consider there, especially if this game gets out of hand. If they want to see what the future is like for Kia Nurse in New York, I don't see the reason after she has played so well over the last 2 or 3 games. She's played fairly well. She should definitely get the nod to play more minutes today, and especially if the game gets out of control. On the forward end, Candace Parker definitely a slam dunk, and it's always the only thing is chances are she is one of two who might be highly owned tonight. But again, tonight with the slate the way it is, everybody is an option. If you're gonna definitely go with one of the big time studs, Candace Parker obviously hands down is a stud, and then you can always go with Liz Cambage today, and you should be okay as well. But in this matchup here, Candace Parker should be solid. She had over 41 fantasy points against New York the first time around in minimal minutes in a blowout situation. She was the best player in that game. I don't see no different here today between her and Nneka Ogwumike. You could always fade Parker, simply because she may more than likely be 40 or 50% owned or better in today's slate. And you can go with Nneka Ogwumike, who more than likely is going to be very low owned, and hope that she has a good 30 to 35 today or better. Amanda Zuibi, I definitely think she's in play, as well as Tina Charles. So you can go with either one of those two. I think you should be all right. Kia Vaughn, right here, from here on, is just so unpredictable. If the game gets out of hand, you can see Kia Vaughn getting some minutes. You can also see Gentel Lavender. If LA starts blowing New York away, by 15, 20 points, I can see where Gentel Lavender will get some time. Obviously, she was doing well when Nneka Ogwumike was out, but since she has come back, obviously Gentel has taken a back seat, and it's unfortunate because she has been playing well, and I totally believe she should at least still get 15 to 20 minutes, or even as much as 21, 22 minutes. Find the time for her to be on the court, because she did so well when Ogwumike was out, but they have not done that with her. So it's hard to say what's going to be the deal with Gentel Lavender, but at 3,900, I think she's a fair play. I do like Maria Vadiva here, just in case this game gets out of hand, which I believe it will be. I think at 3,800, she's going to get some minutes. And other than that, I'm not so high in Marissa Coleman, but again, she may get on the court. Who knows? If this game gets out of hand, chances are she may get some time. I'd rather see I really do just like Amanda Zuibi. She's playing really well right now. In the Connecticut-Dallas game, the best plays here are definitely, I love Jasmine Thomas. I did mention in my video earlier that I do like Jasmine Thomas in this matchup. And other than her, she is my favorite play here in this matchup against Dallas. I think Dallas and Connecticut both can attack each other in the front court, and I think that's where they're going to get the bulk of their points from. I think in the backcourt, obviously, Jasmine Thomas and Courtney Williams. And Courtney Williams plays a lot of three as well. Chances are they're going to be a little bit more dominant, especially if there's no Diggins Smith over Alicia Gray and Kayla Davis. But you're going to have to take a stab at either one of these girls simply because they're cheaper. So, if I'm going to go with either or, Kayla Davis has been playing more minutes. She's not getting a lot of fantasy points, but I will probably go with Kayla Davis. If the game gets out of control, you could see Laney. Okay, you can see Ms. Laney get in there and get some minutes at 3,400. That's not bad. Maybe even Taylor Hill. Is really, really hard to determine. She just got 20-some-odd minutes in the last game. And, I don't know what they were waiting for to give her. She got 23 minutes, put up only 9 fantasy points. But that's the first, extended minutes she has gotten. So, I don't know if this game gets out of control. Now, this game should be the closest game of the night if Dallas comes to play, even without Diggins Smith. They could keep this game respectable for a while. They're going to need to, because this is really like a playoff game for Dallas. They're 14-14. They can't afford to lose any more games. But Connecticut is coming in playing really well as of late. Not probably just as good as LA has in their last 4 or 5 games. Connecticut has played fairly well in their last 2 or 3 games that I have at least watched. So they're looking pretty good. And that's where I'm at as far as guards, man. I like Jasmine Thomas the best. I think you should sprinkle in a little Davis. Remember, the Strickland had that big 44 career game against Dallas a couple of games back. So Shakina Strickland could be another sneaky little play here. Chances are a lot of people, as well as yourselves and myself, do know and acknowledge that she did have that big game there. I don't know if she's going to be able to do that again, but again, she did have some success with this team, so you never know. All right. On the forward side of the ball, I think this is where both teams can really put up some fantasy points for us today. Liz Cambage obviously is going to be dominant. I don't know which way they're going to go, what approach they're going to have with her, if they're going to double team her, trap her more, and try to get her to get in foul trouble, or possibly make a lot of bad decisions and turn over the ball, because she's capable of doing that. Or they're going to just strictly try to minimize everybody else on the team and really just focus on letting her get hers and hope that that's not enough. Obviously, they will defend her. They're not just going to let her take baskets, but I can see where they'll probably defend some of the other girls like Azurá Stevens or Caleb Thornton or even a Johnson. But up front, Dallas looks good, and they match up well with Connecticut up front as far as defending one another. So as far as Cambage, she's definitely in play. Alyssa Thomas and Shanae Ogumake are definitely in play. That dynamic duel between them two is pretty balanced. They're pretty consistent. 27 to maybe about 32 to 33 fantasy points. I pretty much did research them throughout, all the way up to like the middle of last year, and they pretty much are in that range. They do have upside. I think Alyssa slightly a little bit more, could get you about 40. Shanae has been there as well before, but they're not going to get you there all the time. This is definitely, if Ms. Johnson, Stevens, and Thornton come to play, I could see where it could be a really, really nice balanced matchup. But this is definitely a good game to stack right here. Glory Johnson in play. I'm more in favor of Jonquel Jones. I like Jonquel Jones in this matchup. I think that she could be a very sneaky play here as far as a forward. You could go with Stevens and Thornton. I prefer Thornton because she gets more minutes and she's capable of erupting for 35 plus. She's a good three-point shooter when she has the spacing. So there's a possibility there, especially. But Connecticut, as of late, they really have been pressing. They definitely have been bringing the pace up a little bit higher. Both teams play with a good pace, so this game should definitely be a little run and shoot. I do like the backcourt of Connecticut, like I said, as far as playing in that style without no Diggins Smith. If she's not in playing, I think I like Connecticut better in the backcourt, and I think that's going to open up more opportunities for Thomas, Ogumake, and Jonquel Jones. And remember, Jonquel Jones could shoot the rock pretty much well from almost anywhere on the field, as well as she's capable of defending, getting a couple of steals, and so on and so forth. But I think the biggest thing is going to be, can Glory Johnson have a good game, or Azurá Stevens or Thornton? One of those girls, as well as Cambage, is going to have a solid game for Dallas to actually pull this game out if they're not getting any support in the backcourt. So I think here Connecticut definitely will defend better against Dallas's guards. So I think there is obviously an advantage in the backcourt here with Connecticut. And in the front court, I think both teams are kind of even. But I am leaning towards, as much as I have been disappointed with Dallas the last few games, I think Dallas definitely can be productive in the front court here against these two girls. Remember, Alyssa Thomas and Shanae Ogumake are very athletic. They're pretty good defenders. They're pretty long. They got nice nice physiques. They're thin girls. They're not big girls. And Liz Cambage could definitely. And then I think they also match up well with them because Glory Johnson is very athletic as well, and as well as Azurá Stevens. So I think it's a nice matchup. We're gonna see what happens here. But I think I think these girls all have a shot. I just don't know who's going to come off. I like Thornton at 5,700 at that price range over Stevens, and I love Jonquel Jones in that price over Glory Johnson. Then when you get to the top, Cambage is definitely tops, and if you could squeeze in a Shanae or a Alyssa in a lineup, or you stack up this game and you can get those two in there, I think that you'll be okay as well. On the bottom half here, Morgan Tuck has been getting some action, so at 4,300, I think she is not a bad play in this matchup, and actually in this slate as a 4,300 player. I think she's got a good shot to get some minutes and to be able to be productive. I'm not on Teresa, Kayla, or Breonna Jones. All right, so that's pretty much where I'm at. Oh, Gov, all right, let me take a look here. Yeah, Orlando, Elena Beard, I've said it before. Elena Beard could defend. She's not, she's a pretty good defender. That's for certain. My only concern with her is that she doesn't get a lot of shots. What she does is that she brings that defense, and that's why LA is so good at defending. And they're going to be tough again today, just due to her energy that she brings to the table. She's always pressing, and then at the same time, she has those moments where she can, get up on transition and be able to get easy buckets and get easy assists. So, you could look for that on her, but I don't know. She is getting massive minutes, and it's more so because of the defense that she brings and the energy she brings to the court. Okay, Kicks Good says Beard, Jasmine Thomas, Essence Carson, or Jonquel Jones. So either one of those four. Well, definitely Beard is out. I just explained. I don't think if you're gonna compare Beard and Jasmine Thomas, In the backcourt, I definitely will take Jasmine Thomas. I like Jasmine Thomas a lot here today, as well as Chelsea Gray. I think they're the best two, but I believe one of the two is going to be very chalky. Essence Carson and Jonquel Jones. Well, Essence Carson's will be a fine play if this game gets out of control. Yeah, I can see where she can have a good game, because then Chelsea Gray is not going to be out there as long as she has been. Remember, Essence Carson's taking a little bit of a backseat because of Beard and because of the play of Chelsea Gray over the course of the last few games. Now, out of all those girls there, I think Jasmine Thomas and Jonquel Jones, I give a thumbs up for those two girls there. I have them both in at least 2 or 3 of my lineups tonight. The highest floor. Yeah, good question. I didn't look at that today, but I can tell you that right now. Okay, the highest floor is Parker, obviously. Liz Cambage, if you're looking for something in the mid-tier range. The lowest range here is Shanae Ogwumike. So, I mean, she's in a good matchup against Dallas. As you can see here on my fantasy cruncher, there are the 11th in defending and fantasy points, defending forwards and centers. So she's definitely in a good matchup. Like I already said, Alyssa Thomas and her are pretty much in play. She has the lowest floor at 10.5. If you're looking for someone in a respectable range, Kayla Thornton and Glory Johnson at about 5, almost 5.5. Courtney Williams, Angel Guard. Yeah, I like Courtney Williams. I like, every time I say I like Jasmine a little bit more, Courtney Williams has a great game, man. So if you really like Courtney Williams, she's only $200 more expensive than Jasmine Thomas. I just think, me personally, the matchup today, I think she matches up better. Because remember, Courtney she doesn't play a lot of guard. She does play a lot of 3, so if she plays the 3, she's going to see some Kayla Thornton, she's going to see some Glory Johnson, and so on. So, I mean, I kind of like the matchup better for Jasmine Thomas with that backcourt if there's no Diggins Smith. Jasmine Thomas going up against Alicia Gray, I'll take that any day. Yeah, Neely, I have no idea what's going on with Diggins Smith. I haven't gotten any word. I do follow them on Twitter as well, the Dallas Wings, and they didn't post anything up to about an hour ago before I even decided to get ready to get on. I did not see anything. So I do not know if Diggins Smith is in play. And if she is, I think she's in a tough matchup. Not that she cannot go off after being out. I mean, she can. She is that talented. But I like Jasmine Thomas. Even if Diggins Smith plays, I think I like Jasmine Thomas for a good 25-30. Primary three-point shooter for Dallas. For Dallas, usually their top three-point shooter is Diggins Smith. And I can tell you that even more so right now on my list here. Well, I don't think I put Diggins Smith's information in here, but I can definitely check that for you real quick. Three-point shooting tonight, Shanae Ogwumike, Strickland are the highest three-point shooting players on the court today, as well as Courtney Williams and Jonquel Jones, if you wanted to know that much. But you got to base that also on how many shots they take. Strickland takes about 4 3-pointers a game, so she is the top one here as far as three-point percentage at 42.2%. For Dallas, the first person that comes up here for Dallas is Kayla Thornton, 34%. So Kayla Thornton, and I know for a fact Diggins Smith takes quite a bit of threes too. I didn't take her information down because I am betting that she is not playing, and I wasn't planning to play her. Does Glory Johnson get into foul trouble? Yeah, Glory Johnson. Yeah, Glory Johnson could get into foul trouble. Playing against Connecticut, man, those girls are athletic. Shanae Agumake is lean, you know. I mean, so is Alyssa Thomas, Jasmine Thomas, Courtney Williams. Those girls are in shape, man. You know, so yeah, that's what makes them pretty good as far as the pace is concerned and all that. So yeah, they could be a possibility. Glory Johnson's in great shape too. She's very lean, you know, good, you know. But I don't know. She has a tendency of definitely getting into foul trouble. Neely asks if Jasmine Thomas plays more minutes than Courtney Williams. Oh, man, it's tough to say. But, I mean, as far as minutes are concerned, right here, I could tell you what's the average. I'm sure they both play over 25 minutes. Jasmine Thomas, 27 minutes on average. And where's my Courtney Williams at 26? So they pretty much play about the same amount of minutes. 26 and 27 on average during the course of the year. That's what I have. Jasmine Thomas and Courtney Williams. If Skylar Diggins-Smith plays today, then then you definitely are not gonna pencil in Kayla Davis at all as a value play, because if she's not playing, Kayla Davis will get the max of the minutes. Oh, Gov, you asked about Zoe B. Yeah, I like Zoe B today. I'm sorry I didn't see that question of yours, buddy. If you're still here. Could a full Lakers stack work? You know, I looked at it earlier. I was looking at that earlier. A full Lakers stack. We could play with it right here, right now. Let's go, Parker. And if you wanted to, down here, I guess you throw in Elena Beard, right? We have 5,400. And then you could either go Agumake or Chelsea Gray. I will probably go Chelsea Gray. You still have 4,900 there, T-Dot. You could go here at this point. You obviously cannot go with Agumake at this point, but you really don't have anybody in the front court for LA to stack it. I mean, you can't take a chance on Gentel Lavender just in case for whatever reason. I mean, you can. If you're doing multiple lineups, I would say yes, you can go with Gentel Lavender and put her in at 3,900 if you want to try to do a full Laker stack. But that's a chance you're taking. You have to make more than one multiple line, make more than one Laker lineup, and make sure that your second lineup does not have Gentel Lavender. So let's say we're not going to use Gentel Lavender. Then your best bet is to take. You already have two Laker guards in Elena Beard and Chelsea Gray. You could go a third in Essence Carson or Odyssey Sims. It's definitely still a risk. Yeah, I don't see it unless you really feel that there's going to be a blowout. Then I would say you could go with Maria Vadiva or Gentel Lavender, and you could at least get 4 Laker girls out of it. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, this game, as far as stacking this game, you can stack this game, but I would say I would favor stacking, taking just 2 LA players and then stacking the rest with at least 3 to even 4 New York players. I mean, that's your best bet, because the projections are and the lines are is that they're going to get beat and be bad, and I would rather go that way. So that's where I'm at, T-Dot. It's going to be tough to get 4 or 5 players from LA unless you really are banking that they're going to definitely blow up and destroy New York. Okay, what we got here? Jasmine Thomas, Strickland, okay tonight? Yeah, I think she's okay. I think, I mean, she had that massive game against Dallas, so, I mean, you just never know. You know, I mean, she may have another good game. I would doubt she's going to put up 44 again, but she could probably get you. I mean, she takes 4 shots, as we've seen here. She takes 4 shots a game, you know, from the three-point line. She probably takes the most out of the girls in the Connecticut squad at the moment on the average. Fanduel strategy? I mean, man, I mean, you know, you could go either way. You could go with a stack, you could go with a team stack, you can go with a game stack. I think if you're going to do a team stack, I think the team stacks and the game stack should be from Connecticut and Dallas, to be totally honest with you. It's the game that should be the most competitive. So if anybody's looking to have some sort of strategy, I would say you definitely should try to game stack this game right here. I think that's the best strategy if you're looking at the 2 games and you want some sort of strategy for FanDuel. For me, that's the best way to go. You know, you could go with 2 LA players and then stack the rest from Connecticut, Dallas. I've thought about that. And if you go LA, you got to go at least Candace Parker or Agumake, but I would prefer Parker, and then maybe you can take a stab at Odyssey Sims or Essence Carson. I mean, if you could squeeze in Gray, that'll be great, but I think you're not going to get a lot out of the Connecticut-Dallas game if you're going to stack up Gray with Candace Parker. Now, if you're looking for a team stack, you can go for a team stack Chelsea Gray with Candace Parker. They're both probably going to be highly owned, at least in my opinion. But I think that's not a bad stack to go with in this slate if you wanted to go that way. I do like the game stack of Connecticut and Dallas. I think that's the game stack of the night. You know, over here you could definitely look. If you look at this closely, you really got some shots here. You could go Jasmine Thomas. You could throw in there either, if there's no Diggin Smith, you can definitely throw in Kayla Davis. Now you got a 3,600 and a 6,700 here. You could throw in a Strickland as your third guard, and then you basically come over here. You can definitely grab, with that price, you could still grab maybe Cam Bage and maybe Jonquel Jones. Or you could fade Cam Bage, who's probably going to be highly owned today, and you can do an Alyssa Thomas or Shanae Agumake, either or, and throw in a Jonquel Jones and probably a Kayla Thornton. And you got a nice 5-6 player stack, game stack from Connecticut and Dallas. Best cheap guard. I think the best cheap guard, and if she gets time, and I believe she will because New York has nothing to play for anymore, and they should see some more time from Kia Nurse. I think Kia Nurse at 4,200 is not a bad play considering that she has upside. She's capable of getting you 35, 40 plus. She's done it a few times this year when she plays. So, you know, it is a risky play, but she is probably, unless you want to take a real big stab at Taylor Hill, who did play a little bit, 23 minutes or so in the last game. They finally put her in the court, but that's like playing Russian roulette. We just don't really know what's the deal, because Dallas, I'm telling you, that coaching staff, I don't know what they're doing. So that is definitely a big risk. But if there's no Kayla, if there is no Diggin Smith, the cheapest guard to go with is Kayla Davis, who's gonna be on the floor and gonna get 30-some minutes. You could take a stab at Laney at a cheap price. There really isn't a lot of value at guard, at least to me, in my opinion. You could go Strickland at 4,200. Kia Nurse, I think she has better upside than Strickland. But Strickland had a massive game against Dallas, so she already has a little good, some history there. I'm not on Banham at all. Clarendon, no. Kayla Davis, definitely if there's no Diggin Smith. And then Laney, I think that's it. I think that's basically it. I wouldn't even take a chance with Hill. I mean, that's in my opinion. I think that's the best way. That's the best way for you guys to go. Why I don't do this for DraftKings? You know what? I never really play a lot on DraftKings other than NFL. That's a good question. You're not the only person who's asked me that. I intend to maybe going into next season, there'll definitely be some DraftKings and as well as Fanduel for WNBA, for those who play WNBA. But now going into the NFL season, it's probably going to be mostly Fanduel, and I normally play Fanduel for Fanduel and DK for the NFL, and I normally don't play. I love Fanduel on NBA on Fanduel, so I normally don't do NBA. I basically have not done any basketball on DraftKings. A couple weeks ago, I started doing a little bit on DraftKings. I do play here and there, but I don't have a big bankroll there. I just basically stick with football. When football does good, then I take money out, and that's it. But mostly Fanduel. I mostly play Fanduel. Does Tina Charles land a goose egg last time she faced LA? Mike Torres. Tina Charles is in play, man. Without Tina Charles, New York is not going to even have a chance to stay close. So it's going to be a tough matchup for Tina Charles, dealing with Agumake and Candace Parker up there up front. Especially the LA is really on a roll right now. New York has lost, I think, 6 or 7 in a row. So New York coming in, as well as Dallas, I believe. Both teams have been struggling the most in this slate today. So I don't expect them to do too well, New York here. And Tina Charles is definitely in play. She is one that's going to be in play, and someone that is definitely going to be low owned. It'll be definitely a nice curveball if you take a chance on her. And she can go out and doesn't have huge upside. She ain't going to get you 50 plus, but she's good. When she's good for that 30, 35 on average. If she can get you 40, she can get you 8x today, more about where her price range is at, which, her price is pretty high. That'll be good. Kia Nurse and Zoe B. Yeah, Zoe B are definitely pretty safe tonight. Elena Beard or Strickland? Angel Guard, man, that's a pick-em for me. I mean, Elena Beard, definitely good defender. I'm just a little suspect about her, offensively. She definitely could defend and get some steals and bring havoc to teams. So she'll gain the fantasy points there, but not a whole lot. She hasn't shown big numbers in the 2 games that she's been back. So I would probably lean towards Strickland, who already had a 44-point performance against this team, and at the same time, at least takes 3 to 4 shots, 3 or 4 threes a game. So if she hits 2 or 3 of them, you know what's going to happen? They're going to open up, they're going to space up the floor, and they're going to give her opportunities to shoot. And when she gets comfortable and she gets confident and she gets aggressive, she is pretty dangerous. So I would probably take my chances with Strickland if you're asking me between those 2 girls. Shanae Agumake, Alyssa Thomas. I would say Alyssa Thomas. Shanae is great. She's going to have a tough battle, man. Remember, Shanae plays center, and she's very lean. Very athletic, very long. Definitely good ball player. But she's going to have to deal with Liz Cambage. And that's a lot. That's a lot. So maybe Alyssa Thomas, who doesn't normally confront a lot of bigs up front really closely. She's more of a perimeter shooter. Shanae usually gets down there and gets the rebounds and so on and so forth. So, I would say I like Miss Thomas better. And that's just me. Again, it's entirely up to you. I'm trying to just give you the best advice. If you ask me, we can go over here and let's see how they've done in field goal percentage. All right, so Shanae in field goal percentage, if you want to look at how well she shoots when she's efficient, she takes about 10 shots a game, and she's shooting at about 61%. So, again, you got 2 good options. And then when you're thinking of Alyssa Thomas, she is down here. She's at 43% field goal percentage, which is not too bad, and she takes about 9 shots a game. So pretty much about the same. They take about the same amount of shots. And rebounding-wise, which is important if you're looking at those 2 girls, Alyssa Thomas does get more rebounds, like I had said, 8.5 rebounds a game on average. But Shanae's right there too, at 7 and a 4. So you never know. Shanae Ogumake can be possibly a good play here. I just think that the matchup with Liz Cambage, as you can see, she averages 9 rebounds a game, shoots 72% from the free throw line, 58% from the floor, and taking almost 15 shots a game is going to be a tough battle there for her. BG for real. The Connecticut forwards, I like them in this matchup. It's either or. I think the front court here, both teams have had their issues up front as of late. Dallas more so than Connecticut. Connecticut is coming in here holding down forwards and centers to 46 points per game over the last 4 games. So they've been doing very well from an average of 50.2. They have improved over the last 4 or 5 games by 4 points. So they're defending forwards and centers a lot better. But they are, of course, today you're dealing with Liz Cambage, and if she's going to get the assistance, if she gets good assistance without any foul trouble from Ms. Johnson, and then of course Ms. Stevens comes off the bench and plays well, and then you got Kayla Thorne, who can actually shoot the ball. She can actually defend. She can actually rebound and shoot the 3. It can open the doors for Dallas to have a decent game here against Connecticut. I still think Connecticut is playing better right now. I think they're the better team. Yeah, Neely, New York does have too many guards, and it's hard to predict who's going to play. I am banking that Kia Davis is going to get more time today because she's a #1 draft pick, and if they want to see what their future is, they should start bringing this girl and playing her a little bit more. Considering that they're out of it, that's at least what I would do as I'm a coach. I want to see what I got with my #1 pick. She has shown brilliance at times, including the other day. She deserves it. Give her time to play, and then whoever's not playing as well, make sure that they are not playing as many minutes as Kia Nurse. That's what I would do is if I was the coach of New York after losing 7 in a row and being 7-21. I mean, come on now, Thoughts on Stevens for Dallas? Yeah, kick's good. I like Stevens. I think